Hi guys, it's Mary McIntyre. Today is Thursday the 30th of March. The Easter collab with Claire's Crafty Corner is Saturday the 1st of April. Mary thought it was Saturday the 8th of April until yesterday. So, because I am incapable of reading dates on Instagram apparently, my Easter project is something that's going to have to be fast. But luckily, there is only one Easter project that I actually had in mind this year, and I think I can get it done in the time frame. My last collab for Valentine's Day ended up being less than 24 hours to get a project. I've got 2 days this time. It's loads of time. So, in order to make what I have in mind, I've had to order 200 water balloons. I probably need about 8 or 9 of those, plus a load of coloured embroidery thread. So what I'm going to try to make are some little string Easter eggs. So the way that you do that is to make up a glue and water mixture, dip your embroidery silks or yarn or string into it, and then just carefully wind it around your blown up water balloon. So that's what I'm going to do, and they are super cute. Of all the Easter crafts, this is one that I really did want to try, and I wanted to make little eggs rather than big string eggs, because to be honest I don't know what I would do with the bigger ones. The small ones look adorable in a bowl together, or you can put them on a string and make a kind of garland, and I really like the idea of a garland made with little eggs. So I've got a mixing bowl here. I have a hoofing great big tub of PVA, so that should be more than enough glue for what I have in mind. Now for drying them, it's very warm in this room, so hopefully they will dry quite fast. I hope so, because my previous experience using watered down PVA in projects is that it just doesn't dry for ages. So I'm not going to water the glue down too much. I know you don't want it too sticky, but it needs to dry. I don't have long. So in order to dry them, what I've done, very Heath Robinson here, I'm just going to swing the camera around to show you what I've done. So this is extremely Heath Robinson, as I said, but I've basically got an old laundry basket that we don't use anymore, but has been on top of the wardrobe just in case. And basically I've just tied some twine through the holes and just made kind of like a little makeshift drying rack. I've got some pegs there ready, but I've also stuck some on the edge because I can't really at the moment picture how far apart the balloons are going to be once I've managed to get some air into them. So yeah, that's my plan. So the first thing I'm going to do is blow up some water balloons, because I suspect that's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be a test of my lung strength and capacity. So the number of eggs on my garland is going to probably be determined by how many water balloons I can blow up. I've got loads of glue, I've got loads of string, so right, yeah, I'm gonna just have to try that and see how I get on. They're so tiny, which almost certainly means they're going to be a sod to blow up. Wasn't too bad. Boy, these are thin. If you put water in that is going to burst long before you get to play any games with it. They are the thinnest balloons I've ever felt. Like, weird. But when you wrap the yarn around that and it dries, it kind of has an egg shape, so it's actually quite a handy thing to do. And should I wish to have a water fight at some point in the future, I'm going to have 180 balloons to do that with, which is great. Two. Let's do a pink one. That is the most hideous shade of pink I've ever seen. 11-year-old Mary would have loved that colour. I've done 3 and I'm dizzy. I'm going to go off camera and blow up a few more of these. You don't need to see me blow them all up. Okay, the first few balloons I blew up, I think I made a little bit too big, so I am doing that size, and I've put them in another laundry basket to keep them out of the way. I've chosen my favourite colours from the multi-pack of embroidery silks that I got, and so yeah, I just need to mix up some PVA. So I've got a beaker of water here. I'm just going to mix it so that it's a little bit runnier and can be absorbed by the embroidery silk, but I don't want it so runny that it's going to just not set properly. So I'm going to go with make a little bit, and if I need to mix up more I will do. And there's loads left. Once I've watered this down and used it all, it will get used in my acrylic pouring, so it won't go totally to waste. It's just once it's watered down I can't put it back in there, so that's probably nowhere near enough for what I'm going to be doing. Right, so the way that I have seen this done is you take your colour and kind of lay the embroidery thread down in a way that it won't get tangled, which is going well so far. I've already got it tangled. Oh my god, what's going on? No, 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 no. You need more than you think on each balloon, so I think you need pretty much a whole pack. Okay, the embroidery silk has actually snapped there. That's why it's kind of, these are all 4 strands all put together, and that has actually delaminated and broken. So I'll have to do this this one with less. If I can cut off the bit that started to unravel, I might be able to salvage this, because it's my favourite colour of all of them. That's not anything I did, it was like that out of the packet. I've not had time to break it to that extent. But what I will do, no, this one's just fraying. I'm just going to work with what's in here. I'm not going to tempt fate. So I'm just going to dab it on the glue just to soak up a little bit more. Oh, I've lost the end. No. No, 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 no. Oh, you idiot. Oh, there it is, there it is. Crikey. Gotcha. That would have been a disaster. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to see this. So I'm going to start off by putting a little bit of that around the top there, just to give it a little bit of framework. So what I'm going to do is slightly pull it through my fingers just to get off the absolute excess of the glue, and I want to kind of go over and create a sort of vertical framework, not symmetrical if possible, but if those vertical lines are just going to give us something to have all the crisscross lines on. So I'm going to get a bit more random in a second. Unraveled. Just hold it by the knot. And I'm hoping the weight of the string and the balloon is going to make these actually sit straight in my little holder, because when I tested this, the balloons would not stay straight at all. So I have just finished the 11th one. I could possibly squeeze one more into this box, but I want an odd number, so I've stopped at 11. It's so time consuming to do this. People make it look really easy online and it's just not. Very messy, but I do enjoy getting messy doing crafting, so that's not a problem. So I really hope that they dry okay. The one I did first already feels pretty dry. I'm not sure if that one's going to hold its shape because that's the one that I ran out of thread because it had split. The others look a little bit more substantial. So really all I need them to do is dry and hold their shape. If they do, they're going to look kind of egg-like. So I love the colours. I didn't use all of the colours that I picked out, but I think there's a nice selection. Be easier to see the colours once the coloured balloons are not there anymore. So yeah, it's 11 o'clock at night, so I'm going to leave this here. This room's warm, so hopefully these will be dry tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Good morning, guys. Okay, the balloons are dry, which is great. However, they are well and truly stuck to the pegs, like really stuck. Once you've got that off, when you pop the balloon, I forgot to oil them first. This is taking forever. So I've been half an hour on this one. I've had to kind of cut the balloon in each section, then using some long nose tweezers or pliers, just peel off each section, and as I'm doing that it's warping the string, so I may be able to mold that out afterwards, but holy moly, it would probably be quicker to start over and do them again. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to persevere. So once I've figured out a technique for doing this the best, I will show you on camera. But for now it is painful just watching me take off each tiny little bit, and there's just like glue residue everywhere. They look a bit of a mess. They'll probably be fine from a distance, but boy, this is taking forever. So important step, oil the balloons first. I don't know why I didn't think of it. Yeah, this is not fun. Okay, I've got most of the balloon off. There are still some kind of overspills of glue that I need to trim off. This has taken an hour to do one. Oh my god. Kind of looks a bit like if you left a chocolate Easter egg on a radiator. Oh, right, I need to try and find a quicker method of getting the balloon out, so I'll try another one off camera, and if I figure out a way that makes this salvageable, I will share it with you. But all I can say is if you try this, just oil the damn balloon. Like really, just put some cooking oil on it or spray it with some sort of lubricant to stop this from happening, because this is a nightmare. I think I found a method that is better for getting this out. So rather than stabbing it all over and being left with 10,000 tiny fragments, what I'm doing is trying to keep the balloon as intact as possible, and I'm just very, very carefully putting pressure on it to just disconnect the balloon from the strings. And the idea is to not pop the balloon yet. I got about 2/3 of the way through the last one and then it did eventually pop. So you could do this with a blunt stirring stick or your finger. Just be careful you don't get your nail on it, because the more of this that you can loosen now, the easier it is to get the balloon out of the string afterwards. So yeah, you've just got to try to find holes that are big enough for your finger to slide into. I was also using the rounded ends of my jewellery pliers just to gently push and slide underneath where my fingers don't fit. So you've got to go slow. Oh, I got nearly to the end before it popped there. So luckily most of that was detached, so it hasn't warped it too badly. It has, you can see where it's kind of pulled it out of shape there, because that bit hadn't come unstuck yet. But you can kind of bend that back out. Wound too much around the top here, so it's hard getting this knot out. And just mould that kind of back into shape. Now there are areas like this where there's an entire web of dried glue which looks like clear balloon, so just carefully trim some of that off with a blade or your scissors. So while that's not quick, it's quicker than trying to do it all in individual segments, because these just don't set hard enough to really tolerate too much monkeying around, so you can kind of manipulate them roughly back into an egg shape. So that's 3 done. I'm gonna be at it for ages, but the more of that balloon that you can get detached from the string before it bursts, the better. I was almost there with that one. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna do the rest of them. So I will come back when they're all free of their balloons. Every one of these is taking about an hour to get the balloon out of. I've got 6 more to go. Might be done by about 11 o'clock tonight. Oh, Evie's come to help, that's great. Hey Evie. Yeah, if you take anything from this video, oil your balloons. Whatever you do, oil the balloons, because this is a nightmare. Total nightmare. Right, I now have 9 eggs. I'm very happy that my slight OCD tendencies made that I colour coded my thread to the balloons, all except for this one, which massively shows up all the little bits of balloon that are still stuck. This is the size of the pieces that you're cutting off. It's just honestly awful. This one is beyond repair. It's just completely collapsed when the balloon popped. So although I have one more, the only one I have left is the one that didn't have a full skein of thread on it, which means it's going to be even less likely to hold its shape. And I want an odd number on my garland, so I'm going to stop here. I will take the other one out at some point, but I don't need it for this project. So I'm going to go and get some dinner, and then I'll decide what I'm going to attach them to, whether I'm going to use a ribbon or some yarn or thread or whatever. I don't know. At this point, I just don't know. I'm so over this project. So yeah, I'll be back in a bit when I've had some food. I'm just too hungry and tired to care right now. Once I've had food, I'll be okay. I've finished my dinner. I've got some energy back. I think these are going to look really nice with some ribbon and flowers attached rather than leaving them plain. I've got some paper flowers here from these 3 boxes I think I got from the range here in the UK. I've also got some washi tape from the Works. I've had this absolutely ages. It barely sticks, so I'm going to need Pritt Stick. I'm not using a thick fabric ribbon because these are not strong. They're just not, and I don't think I'm going to get it to stay. So I'm not going to glue the tape and the flowers to the egg as such, but I'm going to wind the tape round and glue it to itself. So I guess in theory I could then carefully lift it off and replace it with something else if I wanted to. So once the tape's on, I will then use a bit of glue to add the flower as well. I really like how they look with that little paper added. I have got these little, not sequins, but they're little plastic flowers. I want to put one of these in the centre of those plain paper flowers. They look a bit plain, they need something in the centre, but because everything here is kind of papery and matte, I don't think a shiny gemstone will look right. So I think one of these will be super cute. So I'm just going to stick those on, and I have got this ribbon which I thought was really spring-like. It's pink with a pink, sorry, it's yellow with a pink dotted border. And I'm going to thread the eggs onto that, and then to hold them in place I'm just going to put these little pegs on. They're super adorable, so that will stop them from sliding when you hang this up. So here they are in situ. I really love them. The process was a nightmare, as you saw, but the result, now that they've got their little belts on with their little flowers, I think they're adorable. They're so adorable. Will I make them again? Probably not, but I'm really happy that I did these ones. So I hope you learned something from the video, apart from oil the balloons, which is vitally important, but I hope you found it helpful in other ways. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing all the other people's videos who've taken part in Claire's Crafty Corner's Easter Open Collab. So I will put in the description box below, I will put a link to Claire's playlist for this open collab, so you can go and check out the other amazing artists and see what they've created for this. So take care guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.